Episode 34, Back of the Class podcast. Before we start this week's episode, we'd like to thank our sponsors, VIO Electrical, the Members Force Credit Union, Balgriffin Inn, Pitchside Pizza and Grill. And my name's Ben.
My name's Glenn.
And this week we're joined by
Cheryl Lyons.
Thanks a lot for coming in, Cheryl.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
Good, yeah.
You're busy at the minute. I seen in your Instagram profile it was like eyebrows booked up till April or something, or eyebrow appointments booked up till April. I checked the date and it was only March. I was like, what's going on?
I know, that's actually like a short wait list at the minute. It's been just flat out, like, since I started doing them eyebrows 3.5 years ago.
That's mad, yeah.
It's just like something that just kind of took off, straight away, and it's kind of been consistently busy. Now I teach them as well, so that has me busy as well.
Yeah, you have the Training Academy as well, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Would you have a lot of young people doing your course?
Yeah, so basically my students would be a lot from like 16 up to, now it goes right up, but the majority would be like 16 to 30. Yeah. And then you'd have like the few that's over 30. All the way up to 55 actually.
We were just talking about before we knocked these on as well. Would you be big into the high rocks? I've seen a lot on your story, like you and Ross would always be going to competitions and that, and with train like.
It's a huge part of my life now. So in 2019, me and Ross opened up a Train heated fitness studio. Yeah. So at the start, I had a salon and all at the time. I kind of just invested into the Train. I wasn't actually like going to be working in it or anything. I don't hold any qualifications in fitness or anything like that. He would, but I was like, look, I was in a position to invest, so I was like, I may as well get involved. I do love fitness. Never planned to actually work in it or anything. So we opened that up. It was only like a heated cardio room at the time. Yeah. They were like a huge thing. Like when they first came out, everybody was mad for them. He was working full time still as a retail manager, and then he went full time in the gym, and we opened up like a high rocks part of the gym as well. So now it's like heated cardio plus then like your
when me and Glenn went down for the session that time, Ross brought us down. We did a heated cardio one and we done a high rocks one. It was separate days obviously, but I think the high rocks is a lot harder than it looks like. It's hitting so many different parts of your body, you don't even realise what hit you till the morning after.
Yeah, literally.
And it's such a good community is built down there as well. Like I really respect the community. Like me and Glenn were sort of a bit shy going down. Like we were sort of one of the youngest there, and we didn't know what was going on, or we'd never done high rocks around, and everybody just welcomed them with open arms. I think it was Ross's dad. Ross's dad actually got us, and he was in our little sort of circuit team, and Ross's dad was just telling us, "Look, do this, boys, do this," and he was boring the ears off us as he was doing it and all. So we had a great time down there.
Ross will laugh if he hears this because he always gives out to him. He says, "You just come down for a chat."
It's great. Yeah, I'd love to chat. It's a great community.
Yeah, it is now. I have to say, it's like it has a huge part of my life now. Like, I go down there like 5 times a week. It's kind of only socialising. Yeah. I just love going down and doing the classes, and just the community.
Kurt does be down there, doesn't he? We had him on, we did,
Yeah,
and
he's
Kieran O'Connor. Sol Kieran.
He was there the other day, he done a high rocks class with us. I think he's going to Malaga this weekend. We're actually all going to Malaga in the morning for high rocks.
And the competition's on Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday. So there's like over 100 people going in the morning. Mad, yeah. So this is my last job of the week now, and then I'm clocking out for
Darren Saunders is gas. We actually, the first time we went down intending to get you or Ross for the podcast. Basically doorstepped, wasn't it?
Yeah, we went down because Glenn said there's an event on. I think it was for Chaos Curtis.
Yeah.
And me and Glenn were like, we'll go down. And we met Lauren Scully when we were down there. And we met Darren Saunders as well. And Darren's a legend as well.
Yeah, I agree. what was it? Yeah, you came down to the gym. I think I was pregnant at the time.
I think so, yeah.
And I was like, oh God, going on to a podcast now, you know, like just when you're like...
just the thought of it, yeah.
Like, you're not really up to anything exciting when you're pregnant. Like, I'd keep ticking over, but I wouldn't be up to anything huge, like, you know. So I was like, I wouldn't be able to entertain them now at the minute.
Yeah, 100%.
So it was a long time coming, but here we are.
Do you want to bring us back to the start then, Cheryl? We usually go back to the start, talk about like what life was like for you growing up, where you went to school and that, and sort of how you got into the makeup business. Yeah.
So I went to school in King's Inn with your sister. We were actually in the same class and all.
That's mad, yeah.
Yeah. So I went to school there. I never kind of knew what I wanted to do. I did like have a goal to do fitness when I left school, because I just had this idea in my head that if you do fitness, you're going to be just in college, but you'd be in a gym all day.
Yeah.
And I was like, that'd be handy, like, you know, because I like being
hands-on.
Like hands-on. I'm not really a books person.
Yeah.
Like theory side of things, like, is not my strong point, and I always knew that. So I was like, if I do fitness, they'll just have me in a gym all day. That'd be handy. Keep me mat off me back. I'd be doing something in college. But when I went there, I was like, no, it was just all books, like, you know, all
theory.
Like,
it's all about the muscle fibres and all that.
Yeah, especially at the start of it. And I was like,
I only done a 10-week course, a PT.
Did you?
And it was just every Sunday we went into the gym from 9 a.m. to 1, and they sort of just, that was the hands-on part and all, but a lot of it as well was sitting down, and he gave us these big books. One of them was on nutrition, one of them was on the muscle fibres, one of them was on different exercises, one of them was on creating training plans, and I was honestly getting stressed out I was trying to do it on the laptop and all and write down in the books and all, and there's like a lot more that goes into it than you think, isn't there?
A lot, yeah. And I was only like, 17 at the time. So I was just like, I'm in here, stressed out in my head. I'm only at the leaving school, like, this is not what I had in mind. And plus I was broke, because I was like, where are you supposed to actually, like, when you're in college, you're not getting a cent. And like, my ma had the 3 of us on our own, like, so it was me, my brother and sister. So she wouldn't have had a lot of money, like, we weren't short of anything, but I definitely couldn't go, like, asking for money, like, for nights out or anything like that, you know, because I just knew that she hadn't got it. So I was like, right, I need to find a job. So I was actually sitting in college on the lunch break or on a free class or something like that. We were on computers, and I started applying to jobs. And I remember I applied to a full-time job in McDonald's, and I actually got that like about 2 days later. So I was like, right, I'm out of college, that's it, I'm going to work in McDonald's. Because the money, I was just like thinking of, like, you know, full-time wage. I was like, I don't actually give a shit where I'm working. I'm just thinking of
a good wage,
making a
set
few
wage
bob,
every
kind
week,
of like. So then I was in there for like 2 years, and I was kind of like, oh God, how am I going to like get out of here? Because obviously I'm never going to work at McDonald's for my whole life. It was grand.
It's a well entertaining job though, isn't it? Anyone I talk to that used to work there to be well entertained with fights and people just going on
and
mad.
it was the one in Mary Street, like, you know, at Penny.
At the Jervis there.
Yeah, so it's a mad.
That's right in the middle of it all,
Literally, like, but it definitely like teaches you how to work hard, I think, in McDonald's. Like, so even though I spent 3 years there, I do feel like it kind of gave me a bit of graft. Do you know what I mean? Like, how to do a bit of graft.
It'll probably help you with like social skills and talking to people and all that as well. Yeah,
definitely. And then my friends and all were working there as well. Yeah. So we had a bit of crack as well as getting their wage, I suppose.
So you deal with a lot of people at night up on Murray Street working there.
Do you know what? I had a handy contract, so that's what kept me there for so long as well. It was like Monday to Friday, 7 till 3.
That's not too bad,
You know, so you weren't dealing with like mad, like,
drunk
well, that was like when I kind of went full time. I was doing like a couple of little courses outside of that as well. So if I was in the courses, I used to work 4 till 12, two nights a week.
Yeah.
But so I was there for 3 years. But while I was there, then I kind of saved up money to go to makeup college. And I went to.
And what sort of inspired you to go towards that route?
I don't know. Genuinely, I just knew I wanted to work for myself. I wasn't even like hugely interested in makeup. Like, I didn't even have much makeup at home or anything. Like, when I signed up to the course, I had to get a list off them. And like, I had to go and get everything that was on the list because I didn't have any of it.
Yeah.
you know, like that. So I don't know what it actually was, but it was like, I knew I definitely wanted to work for myself. So I was like, I have to do something. And then I was saving up so much money to do this, like from a McDonald's wage. I was like, I have to make this work. Like, there's no other options here. I have to make this work. Like, I'm not using everything I have.
It's sort of like a burn the bridges thing.
Yeah, I was like, if this doesn't work, I'm fucked. I'm probably in here for life.
Yeah.
So it was kind of that as well, like just needing to get out of McDonald's, to be honest. Like, I was like, right, 3 years, like, that's enough. You know,
100%. So. And when you started, was it big? Like, or was it people weren't familiar with makeup and all?
It was very popular.
Was it?
But there wasn't as many people doing it as there is now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So everybody got their makeup done, but there wasn't as many makeup artists.
Yeah.
So I done my course, and I wasn't even finished the course, and I was kind of full with makeup appointments, like just mad random. I was like, if I got 5 makeup appointments a week, I would be delighted. That was like while I was in training.
Yeah.
And then by the time I was finished, I was genuinely like probably doing 30 every weekend. Like,
that's
I was
mad.
I mean, it's still at McDonald's at this point.
Yeah, because I didn't I was like, it's just an extra, do you know what I mean? So it didn't interfere with the makeup bookings, because I could do them on the weekends.
Yeah.
And still do.
So you were loaded for them.
Yeah, I was loaded, like, you know, you're only like, what was I? I was only like 20, you know, so I was like,
2 different sources of income.
This is handy, like, I loved my life. I was working in my ma's sitting room. So, like, on a Friday, I'd be there doing makeup appointments, and they'd be all sitting behind me eating their dinners.
That's mad,
I'd be, like, weak, you know. But I'm always grateful that I done that. And then, fast forward, probably 3 years. Yeah, I was 3 years doing makeup, and I opened up a salon.
When did you make the jump to go full-time in the makeup?
When I was actually buying my house. So we saved up and I bought me house. So once I bought me house, I didn't need like a job that was like through another employer. I could do fully self-employed.
Right.
Because it's much harder to get a mortgage if you're like fully self-employed.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot
so
of
I was
people
like,
say that, yeah.
I'll double job, get me mortgage, and then I got the mortgage, moved into the house. We were in the house probably about 6 months, and then I opened up a salon. I just saved as well, like a bit of rent up, so I was kind of covering myself, you know, before opening up the salon.
And see, like, along the journey, like, did you figure out yourself that you had the mindset to go to, like, where you wanted to go? Like, did you know that you'd be able to put the graft in?
Yeah, so basically it was when I decided I was going to buy a house.
Yeah.
Like, nobody, I have a huge family, and like nobody in my house, in my whole family had ever like bought their own house, apart from me nanny, like going back years ago, you know, when everyone like,
when they were about $5,000.
yeah. But then like I was like, I'm gonna buy a house, right? So my mum was like, will you stop, like, as if not putting me down or anything like that, but she just was like, Cheryl, that's way out of arm's reach, like, for any of us, kind of, you know. But I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. So I really like truly believe I manifested that, because although I was doing makeups and like a little job on the side and all, I still wasn't in a position to actually
buy the house, but you knew you wanted it.
Yeah, I knew I wanted it, so I was like, I'm just going to.
That's like a C-type goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
We had Jane Healy on.
Yeah, the ABs.
What about Tony out there reading the book, do you know, The Secret?
Yeah.
About all that
deadly,
mindset and all that. Are you big into manifestation and visualisation and all?
Only when I realised that I manifested something without realising. Like, I didn't actually intentionally say, right, I'm going to manifest this.
Yeah.
But I had such a crystal clear image of what I wanted in my head.
Yeah.
And then it came into my life. I was like...
That's like a quote Glenn always says, isn't it? It's like, dreams are blurry, but visions are clear.
Yeah, it's so
That's
true.
That's a Bugsy
like,
Malone quote. Got that way.
And then I was like, I remember I was like in the house, right, for a few weeks, and I actually went on a jog out of the house, and I was jogging up the road, and I was like, if I'm after basically manifesting to bring this house into my life, like, I'm going to try it with other things and see if it actually works. Still didn't fully know how I was doing it, but I was like, I'm going to fucking try it, like, do you know? So I started like visualising like a salon in my head that I wanted. Now, the salon that I ended up getting wasn't actually what I had
What you
in my
wanted,
head.
yeah.
But it was still a salon, you know. And then it was like we done courses. I started doing courses there as well. That kind of skyrocketed. And
was it a bit scary or daunting or something opening up the salon? Because it is a big risk, and just after buying a house as well.
yeah, it was. I have to say, it really was scary. I won't lie. It was like
It
I
was a
saved
risk.
up.
Yeah, a calculated risk.
Yeah, so I did save up. I think it was 9 months rent. So I was like, look, if I go into the salon and nobody comes, at least I'm not like under pressure every month to get the rent
Yeah.
money up. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't mind being there working and not actually getting a wage from it myself. I was like, I don't care. I need to take this risk. So I saved up the 9 months rent. I think it was 9 months. It could have been 9 months or 12 months. And I was like, right, I have that little pot of money there. If I go in here and nobody comes for the first year, like, so what? At least it's out of my head.
Yeah.
Do you know? So then I moved salon then in the second year. It actually just got so busy. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, the courses were flying. And I became a VTCT accredited, like, school, like a college, like where people can come and learn how to do makeup. But when they're learning how to do makeup, they like receive a qualification at the end. But when you're a VTCT approved academy, that qualification actually holds like value on the national framework of qualifications. So like that was a huge milestone for me. Just to come from school and not actually be any like good academically.
Yeah.
To now be able to like
Do what you're doing.
give
and teach somebody
students
else.
like them
Yeah.
qualifications, you know, it was a huge thing. And again, I was like, oh my God, like you nearly feel like you're winging everything, because I was like,
You're teaching these people and you don't even know yourself really.
like I was just like, how am I getting like things done that's this big?
Yeah.
Do you know, I just felt like they were too big for me, like
Yeah.
to kind of deal with. So when I got VTCT approved, it was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. It was something that I wanted like for years. And it didn't happen first time round. Like I did get refused a couple of times, but I just kept going back. Just asking, right, yeah, after refusing me, like what do I need to fix? They'd give me like the list of stuff that I need to fix. I'd go away, work on that, go back to them straight away.
And would that be like an inspection or something?
Yeah, so basically it was like my qualifications, the salon, so they come out and they inspect the place. There was just stuff like that they weren't really happy with, so I had to fix all that up and all.
Yeah.
And then you'd like reapply again. But like I think it was just because when they were coming, I was like young, and they were probably like, she's not going to be able.
Yeah, like sort of like putting you down in a certain way.
Probably like just, I don't know, like obviously that's just me presuming that, but like I was kind of like, oh, I just think they think it's too much of a big project for me to be doing on my own.
And did you ever have like a time where you thought you couldn't go on, or like an obstacle like that?
No.
Just always knew.
Yeah, obviously
everything.
COVID threw spanners into the work for everybody, like every business owner. I was like, how much longer can we keep these premises going with no like custom? Do you know, so that went on for months, like.
And do you have a few people working for you now in the academy, or how does that work?
Yeah, so like there is a full team now. Like there's nearly somebody that does everything. And I kind of run the business from behind. I don't even teach myself.
That's sick.
That's mad, yeah.
And what was it like taking on your first employee? Because a lot of people think like that's a huge milestone for them, but they're also a bit like sort of nervous about it, because like they just feel, I don't know how to say, but Soulful Kieran was actually saying he felt like a bit like, oh, I can't believe I'm taking someone on now, or I feel like I shouldn't be taking someone on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is a huge like it is a huge thing for a business owner to take on somebody. But I knew, like my first employee, I was just like, she's another me. Her name is Hayley, like, and I was like, there's nobody out there that would care for my business as much as she does. And we work together now 5 years. Is it 5 years? Yeah, 5 years. And like honestly, I just say to her, Hayley, you run this place better than me.
Does she have a twin sister?
Yeah.
My ma works with her twin sister, I think.
no
and
way.
my ma, when I was telling her I had you on, she was like, no way, this girl will work at her twin sister.
She actually only lives across the road.
Does she?
Yeah.
No way.
She's the best. Like, she's just amazing at everything that she does. Like, she's so organised, but creative as well. Whereas it's very hard to find somebody that's like super organised with books and writing and the theory side of things, and also super creative.
Yeah.
You know, like with the makeup looks and like getting creative, like in that sense. So she ticks all the boxes. So, like, so grateful for her.
Do you think that's a big part of business, like building your own team that you can trust, and like people that like they more feel like a family rather than like a lot of employees?
Definitely. Like, it's so hard. But I'm very, very fair. Like, if Hayley was here, she'd tell you that. Like, if I'm doing well, like, she'll know that, and like, she'd be rewarded as well. Like, you know, so if the business is thriving, like, she'd be getting looked after more than just her basic. You know, so like, I'm real like, look after your team.
Yeah.
And they look after your business.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of keep scaling that way.
What's little tips or tricks you learned along the way about running a business and growing a business that you think a lot of people wouldn't know about behind the scenes?
Tips and tricks. I always say be genuine, like, and be yourself when it comes to building a business, because I feel like the more genuine and real that you are, the further you're going to go. So never like kind of step on anyone else for you to get further.
Yeah.
Stuff that I've realised is it's hard. There is going to be like times where you're questioning everything. And then the admin side of things, I feel like I have that now in a chokehold, but it took years, like, of like, you know, like the taxes, like looking after all the accounts and stuff.
Yeah. The complicated stuff.
Yeah, the stuff that like is boring, and stuff that like you didn't learn in school. Like
you don't get taught that in school. Yeah.
Like the education system, I just think it's just so outdated. Like, they're not teaching us anything that we're going to use in the next 5-10 years.
We think just teach you how to drive as well in skills.
Yeah.
Just little simple things like that.
They're starting to bring that in a bit, aren't they? In TY and all,
Oh, very
for
good.
certain schools.
Now, I'm here slating the education system, and they're probably changing things up.
Yeah.
But I do think they need to change up the education system big time.
So. There's a lot of things that need to be changed and that.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
when did you start scaling then? From taking on your first employee, how many do you have working for you now? And what was the process like to getting there?
So most of the people that work for me, they are self-employed. So like they'd be like we have like an IQA.
Yeah, like so it'd be like subcontracting.
Exactly. So like I just kind of get them in for the jobs that's needed.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same jobs over and over, like for each group that start. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Is that an easier way to do it, or do you think employing people is an easier way to do it?
Well, for like a full-time educator, definitely easier to employ somebody. Like, so they're locked in, you know, like, this is when I need you. This is when they're going to be there. Like, if they have holidays, they can let you know and stuff.
Yeah.
But for certain stuff like assessments and like signing off on exams and stuff like that, definitely getting them in just as you need them. Like, we have somebody that looks after registrations. So when students come in, they fill in all their registration details and all. There's another girl then that comes in and she'll upload all them onto the portal for us. You know, I used to do it all on my own, but I just feel like now that I have somebody doing everything, it's something that they specialise in. So they're doing that now, like, do you know what I mean? And that's what they're good at.
Yeah, you trust them to do that particular job. Like.
Exactly, so it's done to perfection, rather than me trying to do it all and probably half-arsing some of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's all done now, like 100%.
And what is the process like of actually starting the skill and then graduating it? What type is it? Like you said, exams there. What sort of exams would they be? Like?
So when I say exams, it's continual assessment. So that's why I went with VTCT, because you can't fail. So basically, if you're not competent at an assessment, you'll just have to repeat it again, and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until you get competent. and like you pass everything basically.
Yeah.
And that's why I went with that. It just kind of suited me, because like that in school, I wouldn't perform well on the day of an exam.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's fair that you learn all this information.
Nah, it's not, yeah. And like even I think like
it's a memory test, that's
the
what it is.
9
Literally.
subjects and all, like half like even me myself, like half the subjects I do I know I'm not gonna use when I leave school.
I actually forgot you was still in school, are you?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is mad.
That's why you set this up last year in school we did.
The fourth year, yeah.
Deadly. Yeah, it's like, sorry to anybody, I know there's a lot of people out there that love history as a subject, but I think it's just more of a hobby thing.
Yeah,
Let people...
I think that with geography as well. Like I remember
Yeah.
sitting in geography class and getting talk about rocks and what type of rocks is that. Fair enough, you're going to be a geography teacher, or if you're going to be David Attenborough, but otherwise I don't care about it, you know what I mean?
Like what are you actually going to benefit from knowing all that?
I think sometimes we learn more off this podcast than we ever did in school.
Yeah.
100% as well.
Just
and
meeting different people, hearing their stories, hearing the things they overcame in their niches and how they dealt with them and how they grow things and all. I think that's way more educational than sitting in a class and learning about rocks.
100% agree with you. Like, and when you get out into actually walking and stuff, you'll realise that you learn so much more out doing the things rather than sitting in a class. Just, it's not for everybody.
The thing I don't like about school is that like they put everybody in the same bracket. Like, it's not way like some person, like, they might have problems at home or whatever, and like they're doing all this in school, but they're the people that should learn how to do their taxes and all, because they mightn't have someone to lean on to teach them how to do that.
Exactly. And most of us wouldn't have somebody
Yeah, exactly.
at home. That's one thing that I'm so grateful now that my kids will have.
Yeah.
Is somebody to just guide them, like not to make their life so easy. Like I don't want that. Like I want them to be grafters as well.
Yeah.
But they'll have somebody to pick up the
Fall
phone
back
and
on,
say, "Ma, what do I do here?" And I'll be able to guide them. I had nobody in my family that had their own business or even worked for themselves,
Yeah.
So I can't wait to have that few tools in the toolbox to help them out in the future.
100%, yeah.
And what was it like then, having your first sort of kid along with the businesses and all? How did you cope overcoming that?
The first kid was grand. The second, just there 4 months ago, was an absolute it was like a car crash in my life.
Was it?
Oh my god, I thought I had everything under control, Then a second baby thrown into the mix was like, whoa. And then trying to get back to work and all, it was just hard. But now we're 4 months in, and I can finally say I feel like I have it all under control now.
And you still stay training and all? What, you set that up with Ross, so you and Ross both own that is?
Yeah, we both own it, but it's more so him now, because at the time when we opened it up, he was a full-time manager, like I said, in a retail store. So now that he's full-time there, it's kind of just his.
Yeah.
Do you know a question that it just had a popping into my head there? I was thinking of it earlier and then I forgot to ask while we were on the subject. Is it a rewarding sort of thing having your makeup academy, seeing people graduate and then go on and thrive in the makeup business, and you see they graduate from your skill and you're like, oh, that's deadly?
Yeah, I have to say that's one of my favourite things. When you're on Instagram
and
you click in, you see somebody likes your post.
Yeah.
I'll click into their page and it'd say trained at Cheryl Lyons Training Academy, and I'd be like, delighted.
Do you think it inspired a lot of people that to get into makeup?
I hope so.
From
a lot of
how well
students
you
do
done,
say
people look up to you.
A lot of students would say that. That's a lot of the feedback that I do get, which I do be delighted about, and I'm delighted that I can help them. Because when we became VTCT approved, another huge perk to that was students could actually get government funding to come and train at the academy, whereas they couldn't get that up until that point because the qualifications didn't hold value on the national framework of qualifications, whereas they do now. So students can get, and it just brought me back to that time when I was working at McDonald's. Not everybody is going to have that opportunity to have a job and pay for makeup college.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
So you have people like that just are not as lucky as I was with that McDonald's shop.
Yeah.
So now that they can get the funding, it is a huge help.
And I think having that government funding as well, if people can't afford to pay for it, they're the ones that'll usually graft more to get what they want.
Exactly, yeah.
Like that's something I'm
Because
big
they
on.
came from nothing, you
Yeah.
know, so that like they have it in them like that boy.
That's what I'm big on. Like I actually heard Tommy Mallet saying it, like that he doesn't want his kids being entitled because like that does set you back a bit. Like
Definitely.
But like the kids that come from the estates are the ones that'll actually grow on and grind and get what they want.
Definitely. I had friends that I remember like laughing at me like when I was going to work at McDonald's. Like not like bad, but they were just like, "Are you for real? Like the cap, the shoes, like you're mad."
Yeah.
But then like I didn't give a fuck. Like I was 21.
Everyone has to start somewhere. Like,
I was buying my own house. Like I was like, I don't care. Like this is at the getting me here. Do you know what I mean? So I'm grateful for every like little job that I had in the past.
Was there a couple of moments in your life that you sort of had a little flashback to your time at McDonald's and couldn't believe how far you came?
There does be, but I always stay humble and say like you never know what the future holds.
Yeah.
Although like I am working like on big things right now, like even bigger things than what I've done in the past. Like at the minute, like there's huge stuff going on in my life, like business wise. I'll always like say you never say never, like because if worse came to worse ever in the future and I had to take a job back at McDonald's, like I'd be open to that.
Saying something like that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
definitely. Are you able to talk about them big things you have coming?
So in 2023, I started like to invest in property. So yeah, that's kind of like a big thing now that I'm working on.
You're going to get into the property business. One of our sponsors is Platinum Properties up
No
in
way.
Tallader. His name's Paul Green. He's a great man, yeah.
Is he
He
like,
does training academies for property investment.
No, what's his name?
Paul Green.
Never heard of him, but I must look into that.
You should
He's
have.
a legend,
You will send you the
Yeah.
link later or whatever. But I think property is a huge way forward.
Definitely.
I definitely
Kind of
wanna get
me
into
only
property
way,
more.
like I'm flat out now, like I work probably 7 days a week and I have for the last 10 years, like no joke, but it doesn't feel like hard work because I genuinely love
Enjoy it, yeah.
what I do. You know, people would be like, will you take a day off? Well, I'm like, I really love what I do, like, so
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to be taking days off. Now I do go on holidays and I'll still do a little bit of work while I'm away, but
Does your phone ever stop?
no, never. It's over there and I'm kind of like, oh God.
Yeah, I do feel like that coming back from school because like our phone just be hopped out of it does be, and I'd be like, my head just be fried coming back after school because I'd be looking at my phone, I don't bring it into school and I'd be like, oh.
Fair play to you not
Oi,
bringing it
like
in
it's
school.
ma-
That's great.
yeah.
That's a great thing to do
Yeah,
because
sometimes you don't have a choice. They make you put it in these pouches.
Oh, do
And
they?
they lock the pouches away, yeah.
No way. Oh,
For the
that's
phones, yeah, they
right.
don't, you can't be on your phone anymore in school.
right.
I
didn't
think
know
that's even another stupid thing because it's a tool that you have in your hand that you can just use for
Oh, yeah.
anything. Like
For
say you
anything.
need to research something or you need a quick calculator or just anything or write something down.
never knew
It's-
that.
And you spend 10 million on that and like they could have
I
spent that on
heard
something
something
else.
about pouches, but
That's
I
what it
actually
was.
hadn't a
That's
clue.
what they
I'm
spent
not
the money
into the news
For secondary skills,
whatsoever.
that's stupid. Like do it for primary skills, but secondary skills, like
Yeah, that's a bit bleeding.
maybe first to third year, but anywhere on above that, like that's
Yeah,
stupid
it's
thing
a
to
bit
do.
extreme, alright, isn't it? Especially in today's world.
What gives you the hunger to keep going? Like a lot of people get complacent and say, I have to make up academy, I don't need to go on and do training as well, or I don't need to go on to property. What makes you keep going and striving for more?
I love having like, it's kind of like goals that keep me motivated to get up in the mornings and like work. I love getting up early in the morning. I work on my mindset. Just kind of like listening to positivity, you know, setting the tone for the day before the babies wake up. I'm like, right, that's my bit now done. I'm more positive. I kind of visualise like what it is I'm working on for that week or that month or even that year. And then just I need to have goals. Like I need to be working towards something. And then it was kind of like in 2023, I was like, right, I'm like flat out here working every week, like every hour. I'm not working as much as I was then. But at that time, I was like, right, I'm going to need to kind of come up with some sort of plan because this is not sustainable for forever. You know, so that's when I kind of started looking into ways of using me personal income to
Create
invest,
passive income.
to make passive income. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm working on at the minute.
it's always good to have goals, because I think like when people do get complacent and they have no goal, that's when they start to lose themselves a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Like anyone, if you see anyone that's like achieved everything they've ever wanted to achieve and then hadn't got another goal, like they usually always just go downhill from there.
Yeah, no, I'll always have a goal.
And a lot of people as well that do great things have great mindsets, and they're just bred different. So when they get to them things that they worked for their whole lives, they just sort of look around, they're like, oh, I've nothing else to do now, and that's when they lose their minds, because their minds are always spinning, always rotating.
I only heard that on a podcast
Definitely.
the other day, and it's like limitation is a creation of the mind. So like,
yeah,
when you
Go to
put
the
like,
you love the quotes, pal.
when you put like,
Should say his home screen.
Or the saved on the Instagram, loads of good stuff.
like when you like, I do believe that like if you put like a limit on what you can do and you have like an end goal and you think, right, if I achieve that, that's me done, that's when you'll just start losing yourself then.
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen to me. Here I am in my head, right, my next goal is I'd love to be in a position to retire at 40 if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think I'll ever retire. But
I
I'm
don't
like,
think I would either, no. I always have to have something to do.
yeah,
every day.
always.
But it'd
I
be
was like,
nice to know you can.
exactly.
Yeah.
So just having that option there, like, look, if I want to retire, I can. I think it'll just allow me to become like super selective about the work that I want to do.
Yeah.
So I'll be only doing the work that I really want to do, and
Yeah.
like not hard on the body. Because what I do now, like the tattoo eyebrows, like you go home from work, like you're broke up, you nearly need to go to physio.
Yeah.
Even though like you love what you do, you're still getting aches and pains, and I'm like, you couldn't do that for forever.
Yeah.
You know.
And are you big on like travelling the world or anything? Was that ever like a goal of yours?
I've no like I love a holiday,
Yeah.
but I've no desire to kind of work somewhere else, if that makes sense. Like I know a lot of people like love going to Australia and kind of walking there and stuff. It's just something that never kind of
Interesting.
entertains me. Yeah, I love Ireland. I do.
Yeah.
It's obviously going a little bit downhill at the minute with everything that's going on and all, but I do love it. I'd love if like they looked after people that kind of want better for themselves. There's no like benefits out there for people that want to work hard.
Yeah.
If you work hard in this country, you're punished by paying more tax.
Yeah.
So it's just something that I can never wrap my head around, because I'm like, I agree everybody should pay tax, because obviously like the infrastructure and just education and everything, but I think everybody should be capped at a certain amount of tax. And it's not like, right, you've worked harder, you've worked more hours, you need to pay more tax for doing that.
Yeah.
Like there's no perks there or push to make you want to work. Like 50% or 40% tax over anything over 40 grand is just nuts.
Yeah, that's mad, yeah.
And it's something that triggers me.
What?
That just wrecks me head.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Or where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years?
So I have a big business trip coming up soon, next month. So I'm kind of...
Where are you going?
Dubai.
It's a good one.
So I have that, and I'm kind of using that because obviously I'm at being in full mammy mode and all for the last few weeks, and I'm going there on my own to sign off on something that I'm working on. So I'm just kind of going to use that for, like, I'm there for 4 days. I'm just going to use that to kind of...
Lock in.
To lock in on new goals and stuff, you know. So I'm just kind of, at the minute, I'm pottering along until I'm over there, and then I'm going to lock in on big things.
Deadly.
And are you looking forward to the High Rocks event this
I can't
weekend?
wait. Yeah. There's definitely going to be new things happening for me as well. I just feel like I'm ready now to like make a few changes as well. Add something new into my life.
Deadly.
And what advice, go on, you go for it.
What advice would you give to the younger generation out there?
Don't be afraid to work hard. I feel like the younger generation now, it's just, I don't know if it's the phones or like what it is, social media or what it is, but there's very, very few with drive.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to wanting to get up and just get a job done. You know, they're very lax. Like you had to be telling me,
I think it's a short attention span. I'll tell you, the last 5 days on the trot, we've been out doing something for this podcast.
Love that. Like, you know, you get out and get after it. and get people onto his podcast, and that's the only way how he's going to keep growing. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Can't wait to see his where he's going now in the next year.
We're going to the top.
He's
straight to the top.
Definitely, and I can't wait to see it all.
Gonna overtake Joe Rogan.
Yeah, yup.
Where can you apply for the Makeup Academy?
Through our Instagram. Do you know what? We used to have a website and everything, but Instagram is just like
it's the way forward. Yeah, honestly.
We are just getting all of our sign-ups through Instagram, so we went fully Instagram there. We are working on, there's like, it's like a website, but it's not an actual website. It's called a landing page. Now, this is not my strong point, but I'm working with somebody at the minute. He's going to be creating me like a landing page.
Yeah.
So people can kind of click into the link if they want, because some people still like to have that.
Yeah, it makes it look more professional than that, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, to read through like the information and stuff. So Instagram is kind of where we do.
Deadly.
And same with Try Train as well. Yeah, everyone just books in through.
I'd highly recommend Try Trains. I love doing us down there.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, we love it. I'd just be saying to Ross, you need to expand.
Do you think so? Yeah, he's going to expand. It's starting
to look at the community he's building now.
Yeah, I've seen the picture. The picture.
Place just be packed out.
Yeah, the picture we seen with Kira on in it. There's about 40 people standing in the room.
There was literally 45 people in that class, and I honestly, it's probably one of the smallest gyms, but it has the biggest community.
Yeah.
Like going tomorrow, there's like over 100 people. I'm like, how does 100 people even fit in there?
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, everyone just loves the vibe, and like that, everyone is so welcoming. Like if
especially
you come
Ross
down on
is
your
that.
own, yeah.
He's a legend. Shout. Get
him on reception.
If you're talking to him, tell him, yo, hello from us.
Yeah, his name is Rayo. Everyone to say that about him. He's the best. Very welcoming, and he'd help anyone with anything. But yeah, that's have to push Ross out of his comfort zone now.
That's it. He's getting complacent, is he?
He's nice and cushy. Like I had to nearly drag him out of his job when he was a manager, because I could just see the potential that he had.
Yeah, no, honestly, like Try Train could go to the very top, like, because the community that he's building now, he can expand on that 100%.
Definitely. I'll tell him you said that.
Yeah, do. Tell him that's his driving force, so we're at the saying he has to do it now.
I'll have to hold him to that, yeah.
It's out there now. Right, and thanks a lot for coming on.
And thank you for having me on.
Anything else you'd like to promote or talk about before we go?
No, I think we covered everything there. Hopefully I entertained the people now.
Of course you did, yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Episode 34, Back of the Class podcast wrapped up.